Jam Nation. This is the Songwriter Podcast.
I'm going to dive into this. I didn't know when I was going to bring this up because it's just fresh in my mind. I don't want to forget it. But so I saw you make your Laurel Cove debut.
Yeah.
Right. So I played semi-professional football, and I remember my first ever like big game, like championship game, and like you like the dugout, and you walk out, and it's kind of like this. It's like the roar.
Yeah.
And then when I was watching you, you looked out and I knew in the moment you saw everyone.
Yeah.
The smile came across your face. You're still strumming, and it felt like I remember I was like that kid of like what we just talking about. Fame is like I think I fucking made it. Not when I say I fucking made it. It's like, but in yourself, you're like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have told me 5 years ago that that's what I'd be doing, I'd be like, I am here. You know,
And it wasn't it wasn't just 20 people there. It was
it was a lot. I remember. I think that's kind of. I've been trying to get better about keeping my eyes open during shows because I have kind of always in the past just kept them closed because it's kind of like my safe space. I just pretend I'm in my room or something. It's not like a nervous thing. It's just I don't know. I've always done that, but I realized that doing that I was missing everything. I was missing crowds and getting to see that, and so I've been trying to be more conscious. But yeah, that was part of the reason I opened my eyes, and I
took it all in.
I just couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't help myself.
And because you would have had thoughts in your head. Like,
yeah, and then
what were you thinking? What was going on?
Well, it's funny because like the lyrics that. It's not so hard to remember them, but if you get to like thinking about other things and you kind of lose your place, it's like, reading a book and losing your page. But I just kind of remember thinking like, holy shit, whenever, that's all I could think of.
I was talking to Josh Kidman about it. And I was like, man, it's not just like, okay, like hometown game, like hometown championship game.
Yeah.
Right. Friends and family in the crowd. Cool. And maybe everyone's there to support you. Maybe. Mm-hmm. Everyone was singing every word.
Yeah.
To every song. Yeah. The new stuff, the old stuff. Look, I thought the old stuff, they would everyone would chime in. Obviously, it's been out for a while, but everyone knew every word.
Yeah. Now, that was, my parents had actually said something to me because, they've been to shows where, maybe a few people were singing along, but that was one of the first things they said. They were like, yeah, like everybody was singing all the words. And I was like, I'm still getting used to that. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. To me, there's always something weird about other people just singing along to something that I just wrote in my living room. Yeah. Like it's something that I was going through to get off my chest or whatever. And it's, people reflect with it, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I'd probably think like if you ever get to a stage where you don't take it in, people sing your song and you're like, it's normal. It's like maybe a time to quit. The kind of thing. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah. It's really humbling too, man. That's like the biggest thing is it just kind of just reminds you, man, we're all in this thing together. We're all going through the same stuff.
Yeah. And you're generally a shy guy?
I'm not shy. I'm definitely introverted.
Yeah.
I definitely love my privacy and alone time, and I will, be the first one to kind of turtle shell when my social battery is empty. But no, man, I realized early on playing, people will ask me like if I ever get nervous, and I'm like, no, because if you're nervous, then you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
It's just and I learned that very early on because I would be nervous and I would mess up, and then I was like, okay, you just can't be nervous. You have to swallow it and just go out there and have fun, Man,
that's so cool. So when are you picking up a guitar as a kid? Like what gets you going?
So my dad always had one in the house, and he just kind of played it for fun. And
sounds like a typical Kentucky household.
Yeah. So like there was always one in the house growing up, and I just remember getting to be like 13 or 14 years old, and I tried to pick it up, and I just was really hard, and I set it back down for a little while, and my parents took me to my first concert, and it was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Yeah.
So that's your first
concert? That was my first one.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went up to Cincinnati and watched him, and I just remember thinking, I was like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. I don't know how to make that happen, but I'm going to do my best. And that went home and picked it up and just kind of
Went at it.
took off from there.
Yeah.
And I didn't really start writing songs until a little later on, and never really had any like formal teaching of anything. I was really just self-taught, and I saw that, and man, he sounded exactly like a CD, and it was incredible.
And he's the perfect person because he's like not a rock star obviously, but he's like a showman. He's talented, but lyrically solid.
Yeah. I mean, his songs are just there's everything about them, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just
And who are like local Kentucky talent? Who are you tapping into? Who's someone you kind of?
Man, there's just so much. It's hard to name everybody because there's so many of them that I'm listening to and playing with, and like my buddy Hunter Flynn, he's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I love his songs, and the guys that played with me yesterday, Shelby Lore Band, they've got their own stuff, and they were kind enough to join me, but their stuff's really good. Obviously, Nicholas Jamerson, I'm big on, and Emily Jamerson as well.
Yeah.
She's writing some really, really good songs right now, and
she's got an awesome vibe about her.
Yeah,
just her personality is so cool.
We have a song that we recorded together that'll be coming out on the next album too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's there's just we talk about it, when musicians get together, we just talk about it's really insane to be a part of it, but even from the outside looking in, I'm kind of like able to pull myself out of it for a second and just look at it objectively and be like, there is so much talent that is just, I mean, it's crawling all over the place here. There's enough music here to fuel the whole nation.
Yeah.
People could just listen to music from this part of the country, and there's more than enough.
Yeah, I feel that as well. And there's just so it's kind of, does it take a bit to, like, there is so much talent, there is so much coming out that you got to check yourself not to be in competition. Like, I need to keep writing to keep be in front.
Yeah, it's a healthy competition, and that's the one thing that I really first noticed. When I moved to Lexington like 7 years ago, or I guess 8 now. I can't keep track of it, but man, like the music scene up there was just, it was so embracing, and everybody, I just remember having a couple that just really just took me under their wing immediately, and I had kind of done a stint down in, Murfreesboro, close to Nashville for a little bit. And man, it's just so cutthroat down there. Yeah. And it is a competition in every sense of the word. And I moved up there to Lexington, and it was just, man, it's such a family. It's not even a community. It's just everybody looks out for one another, and it's a healthy competition. Like I go watch my friends play, and it makes me want to go home and write songs and become a better musician. So it keeps me, it gives me something to chase, and
because I did that CMA show. I did that because what happened was with Tori, they kind of didn't book her for CMA, so I was like, fuck that, I'm putting her on. I did it just out of spite. I was just being petty, but man, like with the platform I'm building, I fumbled, I failed, I tried again, it didn't work that way, and I'm struggling. I struggled for ages, and like Kentucky, like John Grace has been so good to me.
Yeah.
And all you guys are so like, I feel like it's like you're a hot mess, like all of us.
Buddy, we all are.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
You're welcome to the club, and that's how I've always felt like. Yeah. And but with CMA, if I was meeting someone, you could literally in real time, I was shaking their hand. What do you do? And then they do a quick calculation. Can he help me? Nope. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, okay.
It is a what can you do for me? Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And they just, I think they're after something different there than we are here, and that's okay. And they can have that. We'll take this. Well, I mean, we'll take this every day.
We'll take Laurel Cove.
I'll take Laurel Cove every year.
Every day. Yeah. That's so. I could talk for you for hours, but I want to talk about some songs that everyone, like Holy Flame.
I used to go to church Wednesday nights and Sunday school, learning all about the things that Jesus came to do, teachings of salvation and His holy name, sparking up the tender for that holy flame.
Where are you writing that? Like, how's that come?
So when I was a kid, I lived down in Birmingham, Alabama for a few years, and was heavily involved in church and stuff down there as a kid. And just as I got older, I just kind of realized that there were a lot of things that I was taught as a kid that as I got older, just morally was conflicted and didn't agree with a lot of things, and kind of had to re-navigate some of my, my spirituality and kind of find what I thought was right, because, I was seeing, I was hearing one thing in church, and then I wasn't seeing the results. It was
the fruits of it.
Yeah,
all
it was all talk and no walk, and I was just like, man, everybody's just so awful to each other, and they hide behind religion to do that and justify it, and I was out on that, and I couldn't be a part of that anymore, and that was where that song came from, was just trying to find what because I think everybody wants to believe in something that makes them feel good.
Yeah.
And I think that's innocent, but it becomes...
I think we're all born with a God-shaped hole in our heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we always
Right.
gravitate to something. I mean, coming from a Christian background like myself, and I am Christian, like, I love that song.
Yeah.
From a person that goes to church on Sundays, because I was like, when you get these people that are very preachy and say, they should do this and they should do that, so read the whole book.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to look inwards first.
Yeah.
And once I'm perfect, which it never happens.
Yeah, not gonna.
Then I can then look at you.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna fix this.
Yeah, that was my thing. I just remember going to church as a kid, and I felt like I was being shamed all the time, and I was like, thinking back, I was like, I was never really doing anything wrong, and I don't know. I think everybody should just kind of believe in what they want, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. And man, I think everybody just should kind of just let each other be. That's the biggest thing.
People ask my opinion on anything. My default is that I'm raising 2 kids.
Yeah,
I got a business. I ain't got time for that.
Right, that's me.
I'm trying to work my shit out. I say to I don't want to cut you off, but I say to my daughter, if she fails anything, like how I can see society kind of beating her, I need to be perfect. I'm like, I say, hey, Dad is not perfect.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah, far from.
And you don't put that pressure on yourself. And yeah. I think what you were saying is about let everyone be.
Yeah. That's just, there's so many things that people just get so uptight and riled up about in just society, and social media is just the worst to exacerbate all of that. And I'm just like, I just don't care. I don't. I have too much going on in my life to worry about what anybody else is doing with theirs. As long as you're not hurting nobody or causing any quarrels or whatever, just you're fine, man.
And I've always said people, especially politics, which has sometimes become like this new religion. It's like another religion.
It's the worst.
And other people say to me, and I say this, I go, you got to have your finger on the pulse, like my taxes, and I pay, but don't let it become your pulse.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have your finger on it, but I can let go at any time.
Yeah.
But people are like, it's my heartbeat now. I need to be this side or this side. I'm like, man, you're gonna a whole heap of trouble.
Yeah, it's a big mess, and I used to try to keep up with things going on in the world more, but it just got to where it was so disheartening. Every time I was seeing any article about anything, it was just always something bad. I mean, just something bad was always and still is, and it's exhausting.
That clickbait.
And that's that's just the worst part about social media to me is if it wasn't for music, I probably really wouldn't even have anything.
100%.
And I just have to do it for work, and I don't even like to say work because I don't consider what I do work at all. I'm very fortunate to just get to write songs and play them. I never take that for granted, but.
And you do such a good job. The songwriting is like, everyone I talk to is like, and people, especially from your hometown, you can get caught up like, he's the best songwriter, this and but from an outsider, it's unreal. I mean, when I hear your stuff, I was just like, this is awesome. I mean, so I heard Virginia yesterday, and you told the story on the stage, and I want everyone to know that story here.
Yeah, so I moved back home here to Middlesboro about 2 summers ago, and moved into my family on my stepmom's side has an old farmhouse that was her papaw's, and it was just sitting empty when I moved home, and I didn't really have anywhere to live, so they just kind of told me I could just move in there, and I've been there ever since. And it belonged to a pretty remarkable man. His name was Dewey Fee, and he was a lot of things in his life, but he was a World War II veteran, and he fought on the beaches of Normandy. He was a medic, so he was on the first wave of boats, and out of about 30 or so men on his boat, he is the only one that lived. And he was stuck there for 3 or 4 days and just saving as many lives as he could and hiding out in a cave, and went on to fight at the Battle of the Bulge. And then he got back to Virginia somehow through all of that, and he married his sweetheart Hazel, and they moved over to Kentucky where I'm living at now, and that's rest is that.
Well, I fought back to Virginia, and I put a ring on Hazel's hand. We hopped across the mountain, bought some old Kentucky land. Well, we dug the richest soil and planted down our family tree, 'cause them bastards didn't have what it takes to kill a thief.
So when you're digesting this story,
Yeah.
are you thinking straight away, like, I need to document this? Is it something, or is it something you sat with for a while?
Yeah, well, I'd always wanted to write a song. He just had such a cool story that I always wanted to kind of write something about it. I just didn't really know how to navigate it. And I kind of sat on a few lines for a while. I had the first verse and the chorus for a few months and was trying to work it up. And it was one I kept hid for a really long time because I knew it's one of those, like, you want to get it perfect. You know?
Want to do it justice, don't you?
Yeah.
Someone else's story and a true story.
Right, yeah. And I remember, like, asking, my stepmom about just facts about him, like,
Get it right.
Just, I was wanting to get it right. And, there's little things that I throw in there, like, he didn't really call him Paul. He probably just called him Dad. But, like, that's just an Appalachian thing.
Yeah,
I was just trying to make that. But, everything else is, accurate. And I tried to write it from what I imagine his point of view might be.
Yeah.
I have no insight at all because he was 19 fighting in World War II, and I was 19 and playing video games and guitar. And
B. Taylor had her on, and she was saying things like, you have this, like, backbone of truth, but you have to weave poetry in and out of it.
You do.
Yeah.
It's fictional nonfiction is what I call it. And it's
He says, I don't know this for the story you told me, your song sticks true.
Yeah, it's true, everything that happened. And it's fun trying to. I remember the first time I played it, like, just being in his house. I was just kind of walking around, and I didn't have, like, a lot of furniture in the house, so the house was kind of empty, and it was just kind of echoing. And I remember playing it, and a thing that I do for myself is I try to make myself cry when I'm writing, like, sad songs, because I'm like, if I can do it to myself, then I could probably do it to somebody else. But I just remember, like, tearing up, like, halfway through it, and I was like, well, I didn't really know this guy all this well. Why is it making me upset? So,
man, you're a good songwriter if you make yourself cry.
That's usually a thing I try to do. Like, I'm like, if I can't get through it without choking up the first couple times singing it, then I'm probably not saying what I'm really thinking.
Rich Henderson said that. He said, when I wrote The Dance and I just had the idea, tears were just flowing. It's like especially because that's a personal story of his.
Yeah.
That emotion, it just kept coming. And that's the thing, like, I'm probably too much of this kind of person. I don't talk while people are playing. Even like when I ran into your set, because I wanted to catch you yesterday, and obviously I haven't been to Laurel Cove, and everyone was trying to say hi, and I was just kind of like, not now kind of thing. And I want to be quiet. It's kind of like you write these vulnerable, even like Rich, you write this vulnerable music. You get up on stage, you got to put yourself in that zone.
Yeah.
Is it hard? Hunter's talked about this with certain songs, that if if the crowd aren't vibing, I'm not going to waste this song on them.
Yeah, yeah.
You do this?
I mean, to an extent, I've kind of just taken the approach now that I'm just going to play what I want to, and if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, then
you want to be on your phone in the
yeah,
back?
that's
be on
fine.
your phone,
I'll play for whoever's listening, and if nobody's listening, I'll play for myself.
Yeah.
And that's, because that's who I wrote the song for.
Yeah.
I wrote it for myself. I didn't write it for anybody. Not to say that I'm glad people can relate,
Correct. Yeah,
and I want people to be able to relate, but I write songs because of things that I'm experiencing, and I struggled for a long time finding an identity as a musician and who I wanted to be. And when I first was doing this, I was really looking at what was already being successful. I was looking at Tyler and Sturgill and all these, Kentucky Titans that were just killing it at the time and still are. And I tried to emulate that. And I was, and I found myself feeling that I wasn't, and I think it was obvious to other people too, but it wasn't genuine. I was writing about things that I didn't know about, and it was obvious. And I remember kind of having that realization. I was like, just write what I'm going through, because that's what they did. They're not. They're right. That's why it's so relatable to people, is because it's honest
and authentic. I mean, I can't remember who I was talking. It might have been Rich. And I was like, we're talking about kind of like what the Normandy, and we look back at that's heroism. Like people say, like, if that was me, I would have done the same thing. Like, don't think so. You're fighting a war that is over there, saving other people.
Pissed myself. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I would have any idea.
Yeah.
And that was the hard thing about writing that song, was because exactly that. I was like, I don't have any reference for what that would be like. I don't know what I would do in that situation. So I'm just going to imagine it the best that I can, and
And because it's kind of saying like it's so bad. It's not, kind of bad, I guess is the word. Is like courage now is be yourself. And people say, I could do this, I could do it. You can't even be yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't even have that courage,
right?
To walk out your door and just say, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Some days I'm a good dad. Sometimes I'm a shit dad.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm a good husband, and my wife will tell you sometimes I'm just a bad husband.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm like, that's me. I got my failures, but everyone's just got to, especially social media, is like everything's perfect.
Yeah. Because it's easy to capture. It's easy to be perfect for 5 seconds for a picture, or a minute for a video. It's easy to do that. It's really hard to do it all the time.
Yeah.
And nobody can. And that's the thing. But,
and I think that's like, you've got courage to do that, to say, I could go the easy, but this is what's popular right now.
Yeah.
Like you could do the Zach Bryan thing. I'm not digging on Zach Bryan, but like that formula works. Do that.
Yeah.
And I think like record labels are like, do that.
Yeah.
More of this.
Well, because they're after money. That's their success. It's, to me, the reward has always been the song.
Yeah.
If I have the song, that's all I need. That is, everything else is just icing on the cake. But, I mean, I had a job offer to be a songwriter in Nashville, and they had told me what I was going to be doing. And, they're like, you're going to have to move to Nashville. You're going to be writing 5 days a week for 8 hours a day with 5 other people in this room. And I was like, that just sounds horrible. I was like, I don't want to do that at all. And they're like, these are really good songwriters. And I was like, that's not the point. Like, I was like, I'm not, because I know it's going to happen. We're going to write a song, and somebody else is going to sing it. And I have no problem with writing a song for somebody. I actually have one that I want to give to a band that's, playing here at Laurel Cove.
But you're giving it to them because you think they could do it justice.
Because I think they can do it better than I can.
Yeah.
And it just fits them better than it fits me. Yeah. And that was kind of fun to do. Like, I didn't write it with them in mind. I wrote the song, and it just kind of fell to the back of the catalog. But I was like, it's a good song. It needs to be heard by somebody. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
So why not just let them have it, And
I think that not to put anyone down, obviously, in life, but it's like being a mechanic, I'm a breakdown mechanic. Like, if it's broken and I've got to be on I love diagnosing and fixing.
Yeah.
But if you put me in the service department and I'm doing oil and filters every
Right.
day, I'm like, I can't be here.
This is awful. Yeah.
I'm dead. And I think that's kind of what it is. You're, not to pump you up too much, like you're too good for that.
No, yeah.
And I think you're like, I want to be challenged. I want to be able to do something.
Yeah. That's the day you stop, having something to chase, or you become complacent. I heard Tim talking about that before I sat down, and it is a real thing, and it's easy to go through writer's blocks, and I'm kind of in one right now where it's just songs they're just not coming, and that's fine. It's they're like waves, man. You just, some days you go out and the waves are real high and you can surf, and you just got to do it while you can. And then some days you go out there and
pack the board up, go home.
Water is just still, man,
Yeah.
and that's fine. You don't get mad about it. You just not today.
Yeah. I'm back in the saddle again.
Yeah.
I've heard the story, but I want everyone else to.
Yeah. It's just kind of your classic, heartbreak, letdown song, and that's one of the things in life that I've always had a real hard time with, is just heartbreak. Like that's, for some reason, that's just always caused me the most trouble. And I just remember that one kind of really hurt, and it, I was down for about a month, but you kind of just reach a point where you're like, I'm gonna get up. It hurt. Take it on the chin.
Yeah.
We'll just get up.
It doesn't matter what anyone says to you when you're in that position. They're
Yeah.
like, I'll be fine. There's more fish to eat. It's like,
You're
I
like,
don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to eat.
I'm like, I know there is. I'll be fine.
I'll get there.
I'll get there. Let me just feel it for a second, and let me write this song, and
Yeah.
then But that is the one good thing about having, and I think having the ability to put it down on paper and get it out of
Get it
you
out, yeah.
is the best thing, and it makes you feel a lot better, because I was trying to tell myself what I knew I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Because even, like you said, you can sit there and tell your friends all you want to, and it's like, you just gotta let them go through it, man.
Yeah.
They'll get themselves out of it eventually.
And that's the beauty about music. It's like you went through it, but there's someone listening to that.
Yeah.
And going like, I feel the same thing, but I don't have the artistic in me that I don't know how to get rid of this. And that's
I have every other, there's so many artists that write lyrics, and I'm just like, that is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I think to say that?
Yeah. Nah, 100%. Well, I'm going to get you to play us a song now.
Absolutely,
What do you want to play?
I don't know. What it was ever, I don't know.
Do you want to do Virginia?
I'll do Virginia for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool, man. Thank you. Pa come walking up the road with a letter in the mail. A young man's called to duty, and my name was up for sale. We'd read where they'd be sending all us boys of able age, and my Hazel rang the blues the day they shipped her love away. They put a cross upon my helmet, they kept the rifle from my hand, and I sent to be an angel in the devil's homeland. Well, as long as it's God's will, well, I'll avoid that flying still. But that cross don't make you bulletproof, and we ain't fighting on Rose Hill. Well, Mr. Patton, tell your men they won't be coming home again. We'll send a letter to my darling back home in the Cumberlands. And these bastards about to see just what it takes to kill a fee. Send my body to Virginia if I die here on this beach.
There's blood stain on my livery, and ain't a drop of it mine. And there's holes in all them Higgins boats from the gunners in the blinds. Well, I've held the hand of many a man as he bled himself to sleep. Well, the only thing I was thinking is this ain't no place for me. Oh, Mr. Patton, tell your men they won't be coming home again. I send a letter to my darling back home in the Cumberlands. And these bastards about to see just what it takes to kill a fee. Send my body to Virginia if I die here on this beach. Well, I fought back to Virginia. I put a ring on Hazel's hand, and we hopped across the mountain, bought some old Kentucky land. And well, we dug the richest soil and planted down our family tree, 'cause them bastards didn't have what it takes to kill a fee. Oh, Mr. Patton, tell your men they won't be coming home again. I'll send a letter to my darling back home in the Cumberlands. And these bastards about to see, Lord, that they can't kill a fee. Send my body to Virginia if I die here on this beach. Send my body to Virginia if I die on this beach.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Podcast. You can find out more about this artist in the show notes, including links to their work. Rob Hillier is the host of the Songwriter Podcast and the founder, CEO of Jam Nation. Brad Luttrell is our executive producer. Jacob Bozarth is our co-producer. The show was recorded and edited by Sam Tucker with Tucker Creative. The show's incredible intro vocals are by singer-songwriter Emily Jamerson. Thank you to Pine Mountain State Park for hosting these conversations and Bell County Tourism for helping us coordinate. This show is brought to you by Jam Nation. If you haven't heard of Jam Nation, it's an app not just for fans, but fanatics. Jam Nation app tracks your listens, it connects you with other top fans, and it helps you earn not only bragging rights, but you're going to get exclusive access to content, tickets, and more. We're always adding in new features, so it's going to continue to evolve. This is your chance to get in early. You can download the Jam Nation app from the app stores right now, and many of the artists that are on this show and coming on this show are already there. If you enjoyed this episode, we really would appreciate a rating on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you're listening. It really matters. I promise you it does, and it helps the show grow, gives us traction, and gives us social proof so that we can continue to go out and get more songwriters on the podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon on The Songwriter, where we explore the life behind the lyric.